which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Sisson.
Here.
Zumwalt.
Here.
Carroll.
Here.
Huffman.
Here.
Hughes.
Present.
Garcia.
Here.
Holloway.
Here.
Kellenberger.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. Next up, I have the city report here. I just want you guys all to know, first and foremost, I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Hope you enjoyed your new year with your family. Second, you'll probably notice that we're having our meeting on a Tuesday, which is abnormal for the council. The reason I want to let the public know we're having the meeting on Tuesday is because last Thursday was a holiday, New Year's Day. So we pushed this meeting back a little bit so we could all spend time with our families on the holiday. Just want to let the public know that little tidbit.
And the next meeting will be on the 22nd. It's typically the third Thursday, but since this one was pushed, that one was pushed as well.
Correct. Just want to let the public know why we did that. And then also, just so the public knows, we're starting the police interview process later this month. Myself, the liaison over here, and Brianne, we're going to do interviews with the police chief. We have lots of qualified candidates, and we will be keeping the public posted, as of course the council, as we progress. And that's all I had. Is there any other updates from the floor? All right, and I think next we have public participation. We have 5 people signed up. Would you let them know the rules, please?
So everybody that comes up, once you start speaking, you have 3 minutes. I'll give you a 30-second when you're down to 30 seconds to let you know your time is about up. Once that's up, you cannot continue speaking.
Yep. And first, we have Braden and Ann Helgen. You guys can fight over whoever.
Now, is that 3 minutes or 6 minutes? No, we're,
Can we go together? Is that okay?
Yeah.
okay, that's loud. Okay.
Ready?
All right, good evening, and thank you for allowing us to share our view regarding the one-way Kirkham Street proposal. Our names are Braden and Ann Helgen, and we are the owners of Kismet Coffee, located on the corner of Kirkham and Monroe, the closest commercial business neighbor to the post office. We are here to formally express our concerns regarding the proposal to convert Kirkham into a one-way street to accommodate a drive-up postal service box. We're thankful that since the meeting agenda was released, our alderman, Mr. Josh Hughes, sought our input, and we hope has shared this perspectives with you all.
And hold on just a second, this timer isn't working.
Oh, 3 times.
Start over. No, built-in ones.
I can do it.
Okay, you got it. All right, go ahead.
We good?
Yeah.
All right, all right. So it's our understanding that basically this was, there's a history of vehicle collisions with the mailboxes, and I put parentheses LOL there. And more recently, a privately operated snowplow. Not sure if that's the exact information, but that's my understanding. So that's written based off of this. So the proposed solution, in my opinion, being an engineer background, having worked for universities with huge campuses and rerouting things all the time, to me it doesn't make sense. And we actually had a post office on site, and we had to figure out how to legally do that, all that good stuff. But this specific solution, the engineering phrase is, it's a proposal that feels like a solution in search of a problem. It's overly complicated. We're going to, see unintended consequences of that. Second is disruption. Coffee is very routine, and I never want to be like the typical retailers, like sales are down, it was raining. I don't want to do that. But disruption to routine is just an odd thing. It can have, financial impact. There's already a proposed solution in my mind, because if it happened off of the property where now we have it on Monroe Street, that's already a special exception, right? So putting it in Monroe Street is allowing a city exception to that deal. Balance of convenience. Convenience is always counterweighed with sacrifice and risk. So basically, if we're offering convenience, there has to be some sort of sacrifice and risk. When we built the drive-through at Kismet, we had to give up parking, we had to give up dumpsters. I would really love to have both, but at no point did I come to the city and ask, hey, can I expand onto Kirkham or Monroe to have these other convenience factors? We retrofitted ours, and we built it with strength in mind. So immovable objects should always be immovable. So basically, if we're going to build something, we should build it to where the car is going to take more damage than the box. The immovable object should not be moved. So concrete pole, bulwark, bollard, whatever you wanna call it, whatever you wanna install. But that's our proposed solution for what is already there. Our proposed financing for this is Kismet would more than willing to write a letter of support
You're at 30 seconds.
for TIF or business district to be able to fund this.
So Kismet Coffee is more than just a business. We are a gathering place for this community and a contributor to the local tax base. We urge the city to consider alternative locations for the postal box or by adding supports to protect it. We appreciate your consideration in this matter and helping us to helping local businesses to continue to survive.
Thank you for your time. Right. Next up on the list, we have Muffin Bates. Come on up, Muffin.
I don't have anything written down, so it's just winging it. My thing is Franklin Street. I don't know, y'all, please take a drive down Franklin Street. The intersections at Clark and Hauser are ridiculous. There is no reason that they need to be like that. Those should be fixed, and cars shouldn't have to take the abuse on those that they are. My second thing is our city streets. I understand they're bad, everybody's complaining about them, I get it, but who are we gonna hold responsible? If it's the company, why are we not suing the company? I get that the rain and everything is, but that's not what the case is on the roads west. The roads west of Franklin were done way before the rain, and they're just as bad. If you see any of the streets, you see missing rock in the middle of that. All there is tar. What's that gonna be this summer? Hot tar. People walking, hot tar on their feet. Walking their dogs. Can you imagine walking your dog with hot tar on his feet going down that road? Somebody needs to be held responsible. And to me, if you're gonna pass the buck, then sue the guy that did it and be done with it. Maybe make him come over and do it again. Recoup some of the losses of everything. Something needs to be done, like I said, with all the streets, but Franklin is ridiculous with those intersections.
All right. Thank you for your time, Muffin, and for speaking. Next, we have Robin Stone. Oh, you're passing? Okay, thank you for signing up and coming. Tyler Sadoff, please, come on up in the front.
Okay, good evening. My name is Tyler Sadoff. I am the postmaster here in Litchfield. I'm here to talk to you tonight about the one-way street in from the post office. My reasoning is for the safety and the convenience for our Litchfield customers and postal employees both. This will keep people in their vehicle, as now they will come north, get out of their vehicle on Monroe, step around, there's block traffic, they're in traffic. Keep people in the vehicle, the boxes on the curb, and the street is made a one-way. Individuals will not have to exit the vehicle to place mail in the collection box. This will eliminate the risk of people falling, trying to navigate to the box. If we keep it two ways and people park on the other side, we have issues like snow, ice, rain, and traffic going both ways. If they park on Kismet's side, trying to service that box, it's going to be over there on the left. Individuals will be able to park directly in front of the post office, exit their vehicle on the left side, walk right up the stairs up to the post office. We have a lot of elderly people who don't need to be crossing the road. It'd be great for them to just be able to pull up right next to the post office, come on in and put their mail in the box right there. For my employees, that creates a safer exit. We're unable to look safely to the east and west directions as we pull out of our parking lot. This has often led to vehicles pulling out in front of oncoming traffic. There's not enough room for vehicles parked on both sides of the street and two cars moving in opposite directions at the same time. They don't fit. This is the fourth time in 3 years that I've been there that the collection box has knowingly been hit at its current placement, this time with enough damage to put the box out of service. You brought up the concrete barriers. I have proposed that in the past. I think your attorney said that is not an option. Customers have made it very clear they're aggravated about a collection box not being present. Replacing a collection box is an expensive and timely process. This one here is costing $2,156 just for the box itself. This would be a much more secure placement for the collection box and prevent customers from having to go days, weeks, or months, as it is now, without the ability to
You're at
place
30 seconds.
letters in the collection box. There's also concern with limited parking spots for postal customers. By removing the current concrete slab, it would allow the parking spots to be added to the west side of the post office. And, as someone who observes the traffic congestion in front of the post office on a daily basis, I do believe this is the best answer. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Next, last but not least, we have Kurt Foss. Are you here today? All right, pop on up, Kurt.
Thank you. I'm speaking for a group of concerned Litchfield residents from East Prairie Street and Illini Court. This is just east of North Franklin Street. The oiling and rock that was done on East Prairie and Illini Court last summer was unsuccessful. Those two streets were among the best in town. They are wide and were well-paved streets with concrete gutters, still in good shape after 30 years. Other streets were oiled and rocked during this 3-day period of this project. There was some rain during this time, but not when Illini Court or East Prairie were oiled and rocked. Our streets are covered with large amounts of loose rock and exposed oil. After the large snow in late November, some snow plows removed snow, plus a lot of loose rock, and pushed it into our yards. And our driveways have been covered with this loose black tar-like rock, which had been spread on the streets. A big question, it kind of goes along with Muffin, with what she said, was the right size and or type of rock used? And also, how will the summer heat affect the current surface? Several of our neighbors have had damage done to their vehicles caused by loose rock becoming stuck to their wheel wells. Oil has continuously gotten on our cars and driveways. I've used Illinois Street when possible because it was oiled and rocked a few years ago and was done in a much better manner than Franklin or Harrison, for example. And it is not safe to walk or ride bicycles on some of these streets due to the loose rock. Street sweeper has been up and down Prairie and Illini Court many times in the last month. Sometimes 2 workers are in the cab. They have vacuumed quite a bit of rock out of the grass with a special vacuum that they bring. However, it's too bad that their time and energy have had to be used operating this large street cleaner that doesn't accomplish much. I spoke to 2 of these workers last week, and they were very approachable and well-mannered. To conclude, we are concerned that our property value is hurt by the condition of the streets, and we'd like to have our previously good streets back. Thanks for letting us be here.
Thank you for speaking, Kurt. Thank you, everyone, for coming to speak. It takes courage to come speak at a public meeting. Just wanted to say that, and I appreciate you coming and letting us know how you feel. And Brian, did you have something you wanted to add with the street situation?
Sure, I did just want to quickly address that issue. So oil and chipping is a process that we do every year. We do recognize that this year there were some issues. I live on North Franklin, so I myself live on one of the routes that was oil and chipped, and there is quite a bit of loose gravel there. So we're not quite certain what the issue was. What we do know is we're going back to the drawing board this spring. We're going to be working with an engineer to ensure that we're using the proper type of rock and oil that complement each other and will adhere. We're also going to be revisiting the routes that were oil and chipped to determine what we need to do. We're going to be looking at our budget to see if we can just go ahead and properly asphalt the roads. The reason that Illini Court was done, it is one of the better streets in town. However, an asphalt road really needs a new resealing about every 20 years, and if you don't do that, you start to get large cracks and issues. So this was done in an effort of preservation. We understand it did cause a big headache for the residents, so we will be revisiting those routes and seeing what we can do to mitigate the issue.
Alright, thanks for the updates. Alright, we'll move on to other business. First, we'll need a motion to accept the regular meeting minutes from the December 18th, 2025 meeting. Can I get a motion to that effect? A motion from Alderperson Garrell, a second from Alderperson Kellenberger. Any corrections or amendments to the minutes? Roll call, please.
Garcia.
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell.
Aye.
Zumwalt.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Hughes.
Alright, motion carries. Next, we'll need a motion to approve the expenditure report and payroll report for the current period. Can I get a motion to that effect, please? Alright, Alderperson Garcia with the motion, a second from Alderperson Garrell. Any notes about the expenditure and payroll report? Roll call, please.
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell.
Aye.
Zumwalt. Huffman. Hughes. Garcia.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
That motion carries. There is no old business. We'll move on to new business. Alderperson Garcia, please.
I make a motion to accept the bid from Illini Environmental LLC for chemical contaminant pit cleaning at the water treatment plant for an amount not to exceed $6,453.80.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Garcia. Can I get a second, please? All right, Alderperson Holloway seconds. Any discussion on this topic? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Zumwalt.
Abstain.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell.
Aye.
Hughes.
Aye.
Huffman. Garcia.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Hughes, you're next, please.
I make a motion to amend section 71.02 of the municipal code of ordinances to include Kirkham from Monroe Street to Jackson Street as a one-way street.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Hughes. Can I get a second, please, to discuss this? All right, Alderperson Kellenberger seconds. The floor is now open for discussion, and I will say, you know, constituents mentioned they talked to you, Alderperson Hughes. I'm sure lots of other you have talked with people. I've had lots of people reach out to me, and I've gotten a lot of feedback on this, and I just wanted to let the public know we're listening first and foremost.
Same thing here, and I wanted to start by saying, with all due respect, to the post office, this is not anything particularly to deal with them, but there were lots of concerns almost immediately when I read it in the packet. Making a one-way street just by itself without any consideration of anything else is a big thing to do. We've done that before. We did that with the school, and that was a really big issue there. But it needs to be, in my mind, fairly substantial to make that kind of move. It's a big disruption to people's lives and ways of doing things. I'm also concerned about how that affects, and I know they mentioned it, but I intend to mention it tonight too, how it affects a small business. That people are used to coming in one way and doing a certain thing. How does that play out? There are just lots of concerns that kind of cropped up in my mind, and I think that this is not the best option, and maybe another option needs to be brought to the drawing board.
I have a question to the lawyer. Indeed, is it illegal or whatever, where's he at? Back there in the corner, is it illegal to put posts up to, what he was saying that, I guess.
So it's not illegal for what Mr. Sadoff said about putting up a concrete barrier or post. The issue is that you'd be spending city money to construct concrete barriers on a city street in a city right-of-way, which increases city liability, right? So you're gonna be spending money to increase your liability. If a car hits the box, let's say the worst that happens is a mirror falls off. If a car hits a concrete barrier, there's gonna be a lot more damage to that vehicle, stopping traffic even further, causing more disturbances to those small businesses and those residents along those streets, while also opening up the city to a larger range of liability.
But I've seen other towns that have that, have the mailbox and have a barrier.
So in other municipalities that may work out in that way, and that's a gamble they may be willing to take, it's just, I'm here to tell you that putting concrete blocks there, and if there's been 3 to 4 accidents, if I heard Mr. Sadoff correctly, with the post office box already, putting concrete blocks there and having a car run into that concrete barrier is going to create a ton of liability. And from my personal experience with lawsuits, you sue the deepest pockets. So they're gonna look at the city, they're gonna say, why did you allow this to happen? And you're gonna allow more liability on behalf of the city.
As far as the post office is concerned, if we don't do this, are you saying that you're not gonna put up another box?
There will be a box put up regardless. Individuals may just have to get out of their vehicle to put the mail in the box.
And where would you potentially locate that box?
in front of the post office by the stairs off to the side.
And you're just doing that because this is the fourth time in 3 years and you're done with it, basically, where it is.
The box cannot continue to get hit, and it is not in our budget to spend, $2,000+ each time that a box would get hit.
Well, the person who took the box out, they're not responsible or accountable to replace that box?
They are not paying for this one.
That's my whole question. I mean, it should be an insurance liability. Does the federal government not carry insurance?
We have our own insurance, we're our own insurance provider, and if somebody does hit the box, then there is the downtime of the box not being there that I'm trying to keep from happening.
Okay, and then, I don't know who I need to ask this to, but, assuming where the box was now, right? What's the plan to address, clearly they're not gonna put the box back there, so what's the plan to address, the current situation?
So first I want to address, I know that a snowplow likely did hit the box. It was not a city snowplow. If it were, we would absolutely own up to that, replace their box, make good on that. I do wanna make that very clear. But to answer your question, we would need to, so we control the road. We're responsible for any obstructions in the roadway. We would need to remove the oval pad that is there, and then repair the road where it exists. So, Tyler and I did meet, quite a while ago to try to find some solutions. There were issues with the city putting obstructions in the right of way. So we did try to get creative on that. I think the preferred solution would be to, for replacement where it is, but we understand that the post office, can't keep going through this. So, we'd like to try to work with them to come up with an alternative solution, that doesn't involve a one-way street, but if we can't come to any further conclusions, then they would be able to put it on their property to the side.
Was there any other locations offered to the postal service, like over here?
So, I know Mr. Baker worked with them. Gary, do you wanna speak on the solutions that you guys tossed around?
Another option that would be possible would be use our parking lot over here, where the Tom Boyd building used to sit. But that interferes with servicing the mailbox, so that probably is not gonna happen.
I did inquire about that this afternoon, and above my head, I was told no. That the box could not be moved. And when we go to moving boxes, that's a headquarters initiative out of Washington DC, so that's way over my head.
Did they give you a reason why? I mean, it just seems, if you move it a half a block and you haven't, you can get in and get out with interfering with any traffic. Did they give you a reason why?
And, we didn't, to answer your question, no reason, the answer was no, that's how it was left.
Does Washington DC understand that the liability and the ask that they're putting on our city, right? Do they understand that that's a burden to our businesses, that's a burden to our residents, it's a burden to our city as a whole? And there's a simple, and I understand it's above your pay grade, but I think that needs to be investigated a little bit more. I'm not saying, in my opinion, it's my opinion, we should find an alternate location maybe for the box, but, just for the convenience of our citizens, right? I understand that, you don't want them getting out of the vehicle, and I understand there's elderly people that need help, but we can't, rewrite the map, you know what I mean? It's not the city's responsibility.
And who's going to be paying for your plan? The city will have to pay for this, or
If the
post
city,
office?
or I would be more than happy to split the cost.
To split, did you say split?
Yes.
I think in general, we got a theme here. I think, they wanted to ask, and we talked about it, and the citizens have brought up some concerns, and you never wanna rush into anything, right? So we wanna go over all of our options. I appreciate everyone coming and giving their feedback. We wanna do what's best for the citizens of Litchfield, but also, his point I never thought of with the barriers, we gotta look at that and consider all options. So So right now, I think we just need to do a little more research and go back to him and be collaborative with the post office. The last thing we wanna do, we wanna keep a good relationship with the post office, we wanna do what's right for the citizens. So I know you're in a tough spot, no one wanted the post office box to get hit. So I think we've had some good discussion. I don't know, is there anything else from the floor anyone wanted to talk about with this, or?
Well, I don't think the citizens in town will be happy at all unless there is a drive-up box they can drop their mail off in without getting out of their vehicle.
It would have to be on the driver's side.
Yes.
That's why we went with the one-way street.
Now, can the box be put anywhere in town? I mean, does that matter to the post office?
It has to be, the address of that box has to be at the post office.
Has to be at the post office. Okay. What's that? Should we
Table the motion and come back to it, or vote on the motion?
I don't know if this solution is going to become more viable. It does create, we only have 2 one-way streets in town. This would add a third. I think the issues that exist with this solution will continue to exist, so, I don't know how much more creative we could get for Monroe. But we could certainly explore, we can speak further with our attorneys about barriers. We can, also explore, I know Tyler, it sounds like they're not open to what we call the tomboy lot. But if there are any alternative solutions that we can explore, we'd be more than happy to do that.
And one thing I just want to touch on really quick is over here privately, I asked him this, and you guys just touched on it too, is I said the curb's already in the middle of the road, isn't that in the right of way? And I asked you, could you explain to the public the difference between the curb and putting up an actual?
Yeah, so if you think about your roads all throughout town, they all have curbs, right? There's something called a genuine assumption of risk. So, well, you'd like to think they have curbs there. But with the genuine assumption of risk and the curb, it's logical that a person driving their car is likely to hit a curb at some point in their driving career. What's illogical is to say that it's likely that someone's going to hit a concrete barrier that's in the middle of a street, in the middle of a city road. So with that, a curb is a less degree than a barrier. If you put up the barrier and someone does hit it, also if that barrier gets damaged, the city has to pay money to repair that barrier. So it's, again, more money for more liability.
And I think we had originally explored the idea of the post office potentially putting up a barrier, but there was also a level of concern with that of allowing the city having to approve allowing another entity to put up a barrier. So that would be my preferred solution. I think it would be everybody's as most logical, but we also have to do what makes sense for the city as a whole.
So my understanding is no matter how this goes, there will be a box put at the post office. Okay, Mr. Mayor, I call for the question.
Huh?
I call for the question.
Oh, you're ready to vote on this? Okay, sorry. Okay, you guys ready to vote?
Yep.
All right, roll call please.
Hughes,
Nay.
Holloway,
Nay.
Zumwalt,
No.
Huffman,
No.
Sisson,
Aye.
Garrell,
No.
Garcia,
No.
Kellenberger.
Nay.
All right, the motion does not carry as presented. Next up, we'll need a motion to enter into executive session as allowed under the Illinois Open Meetings Act, as found in Chapter 5 of the Illinois Compiled Statute, Section 120, to address these certain and restricted items. I'll let you do the items.
Number 1, discussion of minutes of meeting lawfully closed under this act, whether for purposes of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by section 2.06, pursuant to 5 ILCS 120-2, 2C21. Number 2, the setting of a price for sale or lease of property owned by the public body, pursuant to 5 ILCS 120-2, 26. Number 3, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose.
Order, please.
Including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired pursuant to 5 ILCS 120-2 C5. And 4, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body pursuant to 5 ILCS 120-2 C1.
All right, can I get a motion? I have a motion from Alderperson Kellenberger, and a second, please. A second from Alderperson Zumwalt. We are, roll call, please.
Zumwalt. Sisson. Gerald. Huffman. Hughes. Garcia. Kellenberger.
Aye.
Holloway.
We are now in closed session. Thank you.